Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a bombshell story that has rocked the South African political scene and sent shockwaves through the economic freedom fighters, one of the loudest and most radical voices in our politics. Julius Malema's party, the EFF, has once again made headlines for its no-nonsense, hardline approach to internal discipline. This time, 34 members have been shown the door, expelled from the movement, after walking out of a key party assembly. Yes, you heard that right, 34 members of the Red Berets were kicked out, and this latest drama has left people asking serious questions about whether the EFF is losing control or if Malema is simply tightening his grip on the party. Stick around, because this is a story full of tension, drama, loyalty tests, and high-stakes politics. And before we dive deeper, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss out on these explosive updates about South African politics. Your subscription keeps this channel alive and growing, so smash that subscribe button and join the family today. Now let's break down what happened in simple terms. At a major assembly, where members were expected to gather, listen, debate, and align themselves with the leadership's vision, 34 individuals decided they were not having it. They staged a walkout, a bold move in a party known for discipline and unity. To the leadership, this act wasn't just about dissatisfaction. It was seen as defiance, disrespect, and a direct challenge to Julius Malema's authority. For a party that prides itself on a strong chain of command, a walkout is basically political suicide, and the response was swift expulsion. These members were erased from the movement, and the EFF made it clear they will not tolerate any form of rebellion, no matter how small or symbolic. But here's the real question: was this a case of strong leadership, or was it the beginning of cracks showing inside the Red Berets? Because when you have 34 people walking out together, it doesn't look like a random act. It looks organized, it looks coordinated, and it hints at deeper disagreements bubbling under the surface. People are starting to ask, are there factions inside the EFF? Are there people who feel suffocated by Malema's leadership style? And if so, could this be the first big split that shows the party is not as united as it seems? The EFF has always projected itself as a militant, disciplined force. They march in red, they speak with one voice, and they demand accountability from other political leaders. But now, the spotlight is turning inward, and people are questioning whether the same accountability is being applied fairly inside the EFF. Are members allowed to disagree? Or is any sign of dissent treated as betrayal? Expelling 34 members might sound like a power move, but it also risks alienating supporters who sympathize with those expelled. Remember, these were not outsiders. These were card-carrying EFF members who were once part of the family. By cutting them loose so quickly, Malema and his leadership have made it clear that the EFF is not a home for rebels, it's a home for soldiers who take orders without question. And this is where things get really interesting, because political history tells us that parties which punish dissent too harshly often end up creating even bigger enemies outside their structures. Those 34 expelled members are not just going to disappear quietly. They might regroup, they might start a splinter movement, or they might join other parties. Imagine if even half of them link up with rivals like the MK party or even the ANC in some form. That would spell trouble for the EFF, especially with elections always on the horizon and competition for votes heating up. What started as a walkout could turn into a full-blown exodus if more members start feeling the heat. Malema himself has not minced words. He has always maintained that discipline is the backbone of the EFF. He once famously said that no one is bigger than the movement, not even himself. But the question is, can the EFF continue to grow and expand if it silences every form of dissent? Or does this tough stance actually keep the party focused and avoid chaos? Supporters of Malema will argue that this expulsion shows strength, that it proves the EFF is not a playground where people can do as they please. Critics, however, will argue that it shows insecurity, that Malema fears dissent and cannot tolerate opposition even inside his own ranks. Let's also not forget the psychological impact this has on ordinary EFF members across the country. If you're sitting in a branch meeting somewhere in Limpopo or Eastern Cape, and you see 34 people expelled just for walking out, what does that tell you? It tells you that stepping out of line is dangerous. It tells you that questioning the leadership comes at a heavy cost. That creates an environment of fear, and fear doesn't always build loyalty, it sometimes breeds resentment in silence. People might clap their hands at rallies, but deep down they might be asking themselves, am I next? And that's why this story is so explosive. It's not just about 34 people, it's about the soul of the EFF. Is the EFF a revolutionary movement that welcomes debate and new ideas, or is it an iron fist organization where orders come from the top and everyone else just obeys? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, South African politics just got a whole lot more dramatic. The expelled members might not have the numbers of a big political machine, but South Africa has seen small splinters grow into powerful forces before. Remember, the EFF itself was born out of expulsion and conflict within the ANC. Julius Malema and others were once pushed out of the ANC Youth League, and look at what that gave birth to, an entire political party that now has millions of supporters. Could history repeat itself with these expelled members? Could the seeds of another new party be taking root right now? That's the kind of question that keeps political analysts awake at night. This is why we must watch this situation closely. The next few months will reveal whether these 34 members fade into obscurity or whether they regroup and shake the foundations of the EFF. Either way, Malema has drawn his line in the sand, and it's clear, there is no middle ground in his movement. You're either with him, or you're out. So, what do you think? Was the EFF right to expel the members, or did they overreact? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because this story is far from over, and your opinion matters here. And don't forget, if you enjoy these breakdowns of South African politics, you need to subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and stay with us as we continue to unpack the drama, the power plays, and the future of our politics. South Africa's political scene is a rollercoaster, and you don't want to miss a single twist or turn. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, stay informed, stay engaged, and subscribe right now so you're always part of the conversation. This story about the EFF expelling 34 members is just the beginning of something bigger, and we will be here to cover it all.